Welcome to the Conscious Creative Podcast, your weekly dose of soul-to-soul conversation that will have you saying peace out to your 9 to 5 to explore in your sacred calling. The topics center around conscious business and interviews with the folks who started them. We'll be exploring the art of being human and what it takes to live your life fully expressed and financially free. I'm Christina Gomes, and I went from high-paying job as a psychotherapist to leaving it all behind for my desire to travel the world playing my original music, to becoming the CEO and soulpreneur founder of freeyourcreativity.org, where I help visionary leaders create the businesses of their wildest dreams. If you have a sacred calling, stick around. My prayer is that you become the permission slip for the collective as you hear the soul-inspiring stories that call you forth into creative action. Let's get to the soul. Hello, hello. Welcome to another live transmission here in this awesome group, wild, wealthy, and well-known soulpreneurs. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited about today's topic. I know I say that every week, but I've really handpicked these topics to truly help you become a soulpreneur, a visionary leader with an offer that's valued at 4 figures or beyond. And I really, really want to help you to sell it out. So today we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can sell out your offers and feel really great doing them. So these are not hacks, tricks, or any kind of things that you could perceive as like convincing someone. Like, this is a really important topic because many of you do not want to convince people. You do not want to be that person on the internet that's like begging. And I have some clients that their biggest fear is going out on the internet, launching their offers, talking about their offers, and hearing crickets. They are afraid of that. And so let me know in the comments if that fear has come up for you. Give me a 1 in the comments if you've ever had the fear of like, I don't want to go out there and no one buys. Now, I want to let you know that this happened to me. And that's why I'm talking about this topic today, that I had a flop launch. So I know this feeling intimately. And it's okay if this happens. It does happen. But I'm here to ensure that it doesn't happen to you, because it can be discouraging to love your offer, to know that your skills can add so much value to people's lives, and to go out and put yourself out there and it seems like no one is interested. And then maybe you think to yourself, all right, well, I guess it's time for a real job. Ugh, never, no way. Give me a 2 in the comments if you are here to be your own boss, to work for yourself, to share your soul gifts with the world and not have to work a 9 to 5. Now, I'm not going to sit here and knock a 9 to 5. I went back to waitressing with a master's degree after I decided to be my own boss. And that was a brave decision too, because it wasn't something that I really wanted to do, but I wanted to learn the skills of selling, especially after that flop launch. So it's okay to have that fear, and I'm going to hold you through that fear in this live training, and I'm going to actually help you to be the person that sells out their offers every time that you announce that your offer is available for purchase. So who's ready for that? Who's excited about that? If you're here to learn how to bring your people into your offers that are a right fit, that are stoked to co-create with you, then you're in for a treat. So I just shared a bonus little known way to sell out your offer in Instagram. And today we're going to talk about 3. And first, I want you to know that I'm not here to teach you something that you already know. Okay? You already know that you need some level of clarity. We can gain that together if you decide to join the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. It is something that I work with my clients on, getting crystal clarity of their message, crystal clarity of their offer, crystal clarity of their specialty, who they're meant to serve, and what they're here to do in this life now. This is all happening. But today I'm actually going to teach you something that you may not have heard before. And I'm pretty sure you already know that you need some level of confidence. And if you're here, you already probably have some baseline level of confidence. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so jazzed up about sharing your offer, about the potential of having an offer that can be priced at 4 figures, anywhere from 2K to 9K, and really actually have people joining your offer consistently. I'm sure you already have some baseline level of confidence. Now, confidence will expand and you'll gain that over time, but I'm not here to just tell you, hey, go out and get confidence. I'm pretty sure that you have some baseline level, and we're going to expand and deepen on some things that you might not have heard of today. And then I'm also pretty sure that you have heard that you need some level of consistency, right? Many people come into this group and they're like, oh, I don't have consistency. Well, I'm here to say, if you loved your offer and you had a marketing content strategy that also felt good, then consistency would be natural. I've been doing this live video for over 3 years, every Tuesday, consistently. And I know that because I am a consistent person, consistent income comes my way. So you just get to decide that you're going to go first. And so that's all I want to say about those kind of basic things that I'm pretty sure you already know. And we're going to get down and dirty with some details. So let's get into it. Before we talk about 3 little known ways that you can launch your offers to multiple 5 figures, I want to talk a little bit about what is launching, in case you are really racking your brain around the launch process and what actually is launching. I'm not going to get too deep into the launch process here in this live transmission. It's something that I go over in depth inside of my Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I have my own Love to Launch formula, which is a 6-phase process for you to launch to multiple 5 figures. But right now, I want you to know that even if you are a mentor and you have one-to-one offers and you are working with people intimately in a one-to-one container, that you may not feel like you need to launch, and you don't. What I'm here to say now is that you can use these launch techniques and sell out one-to-one coaching, mentorship, a package of healing sessions just as easily. So today's lesson is really going to help you even if you are a one-to-one kind of gal or guy. Now, launching really boosts a group program, a course, something that you want to do in a community, something that you want to offer in a community. Launching really, really helps for groups to sell out. And again, if you know that you love one-to-ones, then today's lesson is really going to help you as well. And I personally have a mix. I have a group program that I launch consistently throughout the year. And when I'm not launching that group program, I have availability. And if I have availability in my one-to-one mentorship, then I sell that using the same techniques that I'm going to teach you today. So you don't have to choose right now. And in my Conscious Creative Business Immersion, I help you decide and get crystal clear on what's the modality that's going to best work for you. If you're ready for groups, if you love groups, if you love that process, maybe you started out with groups like I did. I loved groups from the start. I just knew I was born to teach one-to-many. And so I went straight there. And even as a psychotherapist and in my master's level education, we got highly trained on the group process because the power of groups that are beyond the one-to-one process. And I love one-to-ones. I love working deeply and intimately with my one-to-one clients. And so I have a hybrid because I love them both. And I have VIP upgrades in my group process. So that's a little expert tip that you can infuse into your own thinking about how you want to model your business and how you want to go about having a large launch, a large income launch. meet a large revenue number in the multiple 5-figure mark. So I've been launching offers, group offers, since 2018. 2017, I really got the idea. I really sat down, started planning. In 2018, I've been launching all sorts of group offers and one-to-one upgrades. I didn't start really taking off until I transitioned to a high value offer. So I'm going to talk about that as the first little known way. But I want you to know that I did have a flop launch. I had a launch where 2 people joined and it was discouraging. And in fact, these 2 people were not a right fit. They felt heavy, and it felt like I was trying to convince them to go through my modules, to go through and actually do the work. It felt really heavy on my system, felt really discouraging, and it was a total flop. Even though 2 people joined, it was a flop in my mind because it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun to try to convince these 2 clients to do the work in my program. So I'm going to teach you today the behind the scenes of what I did to go from a flop launch to selling out my offers every time. Right after that flop launch, I got to work understanding what was going on, what went wrong, what was happening. And I looked at the data and I looked at myself and my own desires, and I made some upgrades. I elevated my presence online, and the next launch I had was a $38,000 launch. And from then on out, I have sold out my launches to the almost exact number that I've desired to sell. So I've had a $15,000 launch, $22,000 launch, a $55,000 launch. We haven't even officially announced that doors are open to the public to my next level program, and it's already a $25,000 launch. So I'm going to get you there. I'm going to teach you exactly what I did, 3 little known ways that I personally elevated, shifted, transformed what I had to let go of to be able to go from a flop launch, which was extremely discouraging. I could have totally quit. I could have said, okay, I'm not cut out for this. Let me go get a job working for someone else. But I didn't, because that's not who I am. So I have a feeling that's not who you are either. And you're the type of person to do what it takes. And it's not hard work when you just know that this is your destiny. When you know that you are meant to have filled out programs full of people who are so incredibly fun to work with. So the first thing I did was I positioned my offer as high value using my 3C formula that we're going to get into detail on in my upcoming free event. So this free event is going to be amazing. And one of the days we're going to get deep and down to the details of what that 3C formula is for positioning your offer as a high value offer. Something that can have a price tag of 4 figures, anywhere between 2K and 9K. So I'm not going to go too deep into the 3C formula, but what I want you to know and what you can do right from this live transmission is to already see yourself as a high value guide, as someone that has skills of transformation that are out of this world. You know that you do. So you can already start to think about that next level price for you. What is the price that's really going to have you satisfied in your bones to show up and do the high level work that you're able to do to help people deeply and intimately transform and long lasting, right? Your skills of transformation really help people transform for a lifetime. So with that attitude, with that knowing, you can really go out there and share your gifts with the world at a higher value and just see yourself as that. Because what I want you to know is that your best clients are not looking for cheap. High paying clients are not looking for accessible. They're not going around comparing prices anymore. They are looking to be led by leaders who lead themselves. Let me say that again. Your next high paying client is looking to be led by a visionary leader like you who leads themselves. So with you knowing that, you just get to know that you get to lead yourself in all aspects of your life. If there's a place in your life that you know you desire change, then you get to seek help. You get to get yourself supported, and you get to make that change and shift in your life. And that alone will position you as a high value guide who's doing the work on a consistent basis. So For example, I'm in therapy. I don't got everything in life figured out, and I love therapy. I was a psychotherapist. So I'm in therapy. When I come to my therapy sessions and she has me doing something hard or looking at a place in my life that feels a little bit uncomfortable to look at, I don't shy away from that. I'm there for that. I signed up for that. I paid a lot of money to sit with a really great therapist so that I could transform. So I'm not going, oh, why do we have to do this today? You know, there's no convincing of me, a high paying client, that I need to do this weird practice that I'd never heard about. I'm like, all right, let's try this. Let's see where this can take me, how this can elevate me, how this can release the things that are no longer serving me so that I can be the best version of myself. Because I do that regularly and I allow myself to be supported, I am the best person to coach and guide and help my people to transform. So your next high paying client is not going around comparing prices. So why are you? Why are you looking at the competition to see what they're pricing? In my world, we look within. In my world, I'm going to help you price your offer, and then at a price that you're ready to charge. And then we'll go ahead and do the work to position yourself as that guide, as that person that's leading herself consistently, as making the big, bold moves, as doing the hard and difficult thing. Because we cannot ask our clients to do difficult, uncomfortable things if we are not ourselves. So how I make this easeful is I just love it. I love self-development. I love growth. I love doing the challenging thing. I don't over-challenge myself. I don't put like this badge of honor that I need to work hard to make money. And I don't think that everything in life is going to come to me on a silver platter and be discomfort free. So you got to get a little dirty. You got to get your hands in the mud. You got to create. You got to come up against your edges, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to be supported, because how we make it easy is we're supported. If I was trying to do the therapy myself without the support, without the awareness of why I'm doing this weird practice, the somatic practice, then of course it's going to be harder. But the easefulness comes in the support. So when you go ahead and get yourself supported, when you go ahead and go first and do the thing that feels hard, you automatically become magnetic to high-paying clients, because high-paying clients are not looking for the person who's like, oh, everything in life's easy. No, you're not going to have to do anything. It's like, who coaches that way? No one. Coaching is uncomfortable. Coaching asks you to look at the places in you where you're diminishing yourself, maybe, or where you're keeping yourself small, or where you could be aligning your actions with the desire that you haven't allowed yourself to desire before. Now, we're going to get into the second little known way that you can get known, get seen, get valued, get well paid for your gifts, even to the multiple 5-figure mark. So if you are not yet consistently sharing up-leveled content, your next level content, then this is just something that you get to do. This kind of up-leveled content is both vulnerable and educative. So I don't just have how-to content, and I don't just have all my mistakes content, and I don't just share stories about me. I have a combination of what I call posting on purpose, and it's 4 quadrants of valuable content. And this kind of content positions you as that visionary leader that people want to pay high amounts of money, 4 figures, anywhere from 2K to 9K, to co-create with you. It's absolutely amazing to watch my clients go from maybe being shy about their voice, maybe sharing content that's not really getting engagement or working, and sharing content that they are so excited to share, as well as content that is converting to high-paying clients. It's converting to sales calls. It's converting to people signing up for their offers. It's super, super amazing. So I had a flop launch in the beginning of, or the end rather, of 2019. And this was because my content was speaking to disempowered people. So remember in the beginning of this transmission, I told you that 2 people joined my offer, but it felt like a failure. And it felt like a failure because those clients were really hard. They were. I'm sorry. Like they just were. I felt like I was convincing them to go through the modules. And it just made my business like feel heavy. And we're not here for that. My eye feels heavy because I got makeup in my eye. Oh, don't worry. I'm not crying because I had a flop launch. Do something in my eye, but the show must go on. But it is quite sad and discouraging to be so passionate about what you do and then go out there and share and like people are not picking up what you're throwing down. And this was because I had to look and see what was happening in my content, what was happening in my world, what was happening in my offers. And I was really speaking to the disempowered version of my clients. So now I look at the desires of my best clients and I speak to those desires consistently in my content. I have learned and developed the muscle of speaking to people who know that they want self-development and growth. And I position myself very strategically, thoughtfully, and with a lot of intention to be that kind of person that can lead that person because I know that I can. So you already know that you're good at what you do. You're the type of transformational facilitator where people are like, thank you so much for coming into my life. This is what consistency is all about. I am here for you, a pure channel, weeping over the idea of you going out there, selling your offer and it not working. I really, really feel like we don't need that to happen in this life. We don't need that for you. You don't have to have a flop launch like I did. You can go out there and sell your offers and call in just the kind of people that are going to give you those love notes consistently, that are going to be like, thank you so much for co-creating with me, for creating this offer. And I love it. I love being able to say to my clients, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, and you're welcome that I failed. I failed a bunch of times, you know, and it's okay to shed a tear. It's okay to be like, this is tough. This feels challenging until you decide that you don't want it to feel challenging anymore. And you put yourself in a room with other people that are also empowered. Because I know that maybe you're the most empowered person you know. Maybe you are like around people who are complaining about their life all the time. So you think that that is like the way of the world. And you get in this bubble where you think you need to speak to the complaints of your least favorite clients in order to get more clients. And what I'm here to tell you is that it's okay to play favorites and to see who you are, that next level client that you're ready to call in. And I'm sure that that is a person that doesn't get on the phone with you and say, I don't have money. You're not here to call in time wasters. You're here to call in folks who are ready for the deep and long-lasting change, and they get in your container and they show up and they get to work and they get the results and everyone's happy. Whether that's the result is a more sexually empowered life, or that result is a more vibrant life experience, whether that result is calling in their soulmate, whether that result is a better business. I am here to help people, and I'm going to. And I'm not going to let a silly flop launch or someone's sad comment or, you know, a few people not getting the results when I know that there's so many more people who are ready to get the results, and I'm ready to help those people. So you just get to learn how to speak to those people in your content. Once I started to speak to higher level clients like you, higher level people ready to roll up their sleeves and be a part of their clients' success, then my business exploded because I was speaking to people that I was so excited to work with. So my heart was open. My sales channels were open. My sales calls felt really empowering. Whether they chose to work with me now or they choose to work with me later, I felt empowered throughout the process. And when your potential client gets on a call with you and they see the most empowered version of themselves to be, when they see what they could possibly become, that's when your business will take off. So you just get to go first again, but you also get to speak to that in your content. And I say this a lot, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about consistency, but it really actually kind of pisses me off. It pisses me off when folks are like, I want to sell out my offer, but I made one post and nobody liked it, so I stopped posting. It pisses me off because what's happening here is people with half your talent who have more willingness. So what that means is maybe they're being guided by people with half your talent. That is why it's my mission to get the big hearted, the ones that I know are out here really like have done the work themselves, are really going through their own processes, are really honing in on their skills. But those people, for whatever reason, they lack the willingness to learn the sales skills, or they lack the willingness to keep going when they've met with a challenge, or they lack the support. And that makes me sad. And that makes me mad. So I am here to support those who are highly talented, highly gifted. And you are. You are. So now maybe the only missing link is that willingness to keep going when something doesn't seem like it's working. So that flop launch that I had, I could have called the whole thing off. I would never. And that's why I know I'm the best person, because I have my own back. I just went all in on myself. I gave the last of my savings to a high level mentor. And now I have not been without mentorship for over almost 2 years now, because I'm in integrity. I go first. I get guided. I get supported. I up level my skills so that I can be that space, that safe container where I know that you're going to get results in my program. Because I have an application process that weeds out people who are tire kickers, as one of my lovely clients calls them, folks that just, want all the success, but aren't willing to put in the consistent, deep work. And it's not hard work. Hard work was like manual labor. Hard work was waitressing and serving people that didn't see me, that didn't value me. Giving someone ketchup was not what I was here to do. Right? So I'm living in alignment with my purpose. And of course, I'm the best person to help people who are purpose driven and who want this and have big hearts. Right? And it's great to be sensitive. I mean, I cried over that flop launch, and then I got support. I got high level support, saw what went wrong, and I've been elevating ever since. So you get to share consistent content, whether you get the likes or follows or engagement that you're after. And through that, you just get better and better and better at writing the kind of content and sharing the kind of live transmissions that get engagement, right? And you just get better and better and better at not seeking that. I'm not seeking that outside validation to prove that you're worthy to keep going, because it's your soul's calling. So of course you're going to keep going. Of course you're not going to take a year off. If you have the offer created, why are you not selling it? And that's what we can work on inside of Scene, my 4-day initiation into selling out your high value offer. Because I have a few reflections on why it's not selling. I most likely, once I get to know your business intimately, can give you the reflections of why it's not selling and just offer you those upgrades. We don't just work on mindset in my world, even though I'm an expert in mindset. But you got to have that mindset of growth and of I am in this for as long as it takes. And then those strategies start to land. And practicing those strategies are only going to work if you practice them consistently. One post is not going to make or break your business. If you're still going into groups, posting and ghosting, then you just get to decide that you're not that person, because you don't like to be ghosted. Would you get on a sales call with somebody and you really wanted the help, and then when they followed up with you, would you ignore them? No, you're a good, kind-hearted person. You would respond. And then you're going to get those responses. You're going to focus on relationship building in your content. And then that's what it's going to be like. Your people are going to come to your content and they're going to feel like they know you. They're going to feel like they can trust you because you trust yourself, because you're not in this stop or start energy. You're in the kind of energy where you are trusting the whole process. And so, of course, you can say then to your potential client, trust in the process. And they're going to believe that because you believe it. Hey there, visionary leader. If you're resonating with this message, I'd like to invite you into your next level life and business. Enrollment has begun for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. This is my signature group container to help you design an offer so delicious, so juicy, so based on your soul gifts that you are thrilled to invite your soulmate clients inside of it. I'm going to teach you how to promote this offer with a ton of heart and to sell out this offer with ease to meet your revenue goals. I would love to have you inside if you are a visionary leader who knows that they are great at what they do. You'd like to collapse the timeline on how long it takes to reach consistent income with an offer that you truly love. Go to the link in the show notes to apply for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I will be sitting with your application individually, and I will send an email to let you know if you've been accepted in a few days after application. Thank you for trusting me with your vision, and I can't wait to see what we co-create. So the third thing that I did to get to sell to multiple five figures is I got really great at sales calls. I just did. In 2019, I didn't want to do them. I wanted to have an offer that was low cost so that I could sell from a sales page. And when it wasn't working, I was like, why isn't this working? And it's because it wasn't me. I'm not here to play small, to hide, to try to just do the bare minimum. I'm here to go big, to show up, to build relationships with people, to help them deeply transform. And I realized that what I was doing and that desire that I had to just sell without sales calls in the beginning, because you can eventually sell without sales calls, but that's if people really know you and you have a message that's legit and on point and you've validated your message and you've validated your sales process. You can certainly teach someone else your sales process and you can do that down the line. But I work with folks, they're selling out with the small audience. They're selling out their first few launches. And your first few launches build towards making your fifth launch the best, Why I'm now this launch is a $25,000 launch before doors are even open is because I have my processes in place. I know what really works. I'm getting in my groove. I'm building momentum and I'm really great at sales calls. So I'm not talking about convincing. I'm not talking about trying to get people to buy if they're not a right fit or getting people to a yes, no matter what. I'm not talking about overcoming objections. I'm talking about holding space for people's fear in a call so that they can make the best decision for them. And if that decision is a no for right now, that you get to support them in that and you don't let them enroll you in their limiting beliefs. If they're looking for guidance and coaching on a problem that they have in their lives, then they probably have some beliefs, some things that they're working through, some hidden objections that they have in themselves. And that's why they're bringing those objections to your sales calls. So if you are doing the work, if you are having more and more sales calls and you're seeing what people are actually bringing to the calls, then you get really, really great at that sales process from a heart-centered place of both holding people to their vision and not letting them off the hook of the vision that they see in their lives. Because oftentimes people have a grand vision, but there's some blocks along the way. And then you get to be that person, even in the sales call, to help them to see how they can believe in themselves the way that you believe in yourself, the way that you believe in them. I believe in my potential clients and my clients so deeply that they almost cannot fail. Because when they waver, I'm there. I know I've made the mistakes. I've done the work. So I know that my clients can too. And I actually give them the step-by-step strategy that they can use in their own lives to either release that limiting belief or work through these aligned actions until the actions become them and you become an embodied entrepreneur. So the sales calls are a really pivotal point because the way that I teach sales in my conscious creative business immersion is really heart-centered. So if you have a very transformational process, if you have your own transformational process that you take your people through, and if you don't, cool, we're going to work on that in my free event scene. I'm going to help you to create a signature process. I'm going to help you to understand what goes in a high value offer, and a signature process is one of those things. So if you don't yet have one, stick around, stay in my world. We're going to get you there. However, either way, if you're all about that transformation and all about helping people to make long-lasting, deep change, then your sales process doesn't have to be much different. You don't have to learn a different set of skills, but you get to strategically and skillfully apply your skills of coaching and guiding to the sales conversation. And that might take some support, and that might take some a new skill level. It might take an upgrade of your skills now. And that doesn't mean you don't do it. That means you get the support, you go after it. So what I mean by that is, after I had that first failed launch, that flopped launch when only 2 people joined, I really was like, okay, I want to speak to a new elevated client, and I want to sell to them in ways that feel good. Because people that you do end up convincing, they actually don't get great results because they feel convinced. So I really looked at that. I said, why was it that I was calling in clients that felt like I was convincing them to go through my modules and convincing them to apply the techniques? It was because I had to convince them to buy. So if you really love your offer, it's going to feel less like you're convincing. But if you really love your offer and you learn the transformational sales skills that I teach in the Conscious Creative Business immersion, then you're going to feel like this is fun. You're going to finally feel like this is fun. You're going to finally get people on the phone with you that are not a hard sell. They don't take a hard sell. They go like, hey, how can I buy from you? Like, what's the process? When do we start? I get on the phone with a lot of people that ask me, when do we start? That's lovely. And that happened over time. And that's why I teach transformational sales. And I'm coining the term transformational sales, because the sales skills that you might have learned from folks that are not like you, that are not creative, that are not heart-centered, that are not visionary, that are not deep in the self-development world, but they're masters at sales, they're teaching old school, old paradigm sales techniques. And I'm not about that here. So if you can trust in your offer, and you can trust that you are in integrity, that you're getting support, then you automatically become that person that in that sales conversation, you download just the right words to help hold space for someone's fear. I'm not saying that people don't come in with questions or fear, and you gain the skills to be able to hold space for their fear so that they can make the best decision for their lives, for their families, for their communities, right? And if you haven't overcome your own fear of jumping in that next level program, of going all in on yourself, of doing that scary, uncomfortable thing, then you might just, in the sales conversation, let them off the hook. And that's why you're not making as many sales. Because that sales conversation is a pivotal point of connection. And if they don't trust that you are a safe place to invest, there's something going on there that you just get to check out. So if whatever challenges and obstacles you're having in your own life, whatever edges that you're experiencing in having your own life, check your sales conversations. Are you getting that mirrored to you in your sales conversation? Are you saying to people that you don't have time to immerse yourself in your business, or to learn a new sales skill, or to go all in on yourself? Then you may get on the phone with people that say, oh, I don't have time, I don't have the money. And it's like, you may get that either way. But what I'm saying is that you won't have the skills or even the download of what to say to that person to help them through that objection, not overcome that objection, but help them to see that how that objection is limiting themselves because you yourself are limiting yourself. So my invitation here is to go all in on yourself, to get that inside the room of other people who are doing the work so that you can expand together and rise together. So if you are on the edge of something big, and you cower and you say, no, next time. Then when you get in a sales conversation, when someone cowers and say, no, I can't afford it right now, next time, you're more likely to let them off the hook. More likely to go, oh, yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Of course you don't have the money. Because I keep saying I don't have the money, right? So transformational sales is transforming yourself. Who do you want to be? Who do you get to be able to hold space for a more powerful sale, for a high level sale? I couldn't start selling 2K offers without having bought one. And that was just it. I wanted to raise my price to 2K, but I just couldn't because I had never bought at 2K. The moment that I bought at 8K, selling at 2K was a breeze. And that's what I want to transmit to you right now. So let me know how this is resonating with you. If you're watching the replay and you've stayed for this long, I really want to talk to you because you are the person that I am speaking to. You're that person that commits. You're that person that commits to a full 45 minutes to be together to expand your business. You're that person that doesn't come to a sales call and have a bunch of objections. You're that person that is not objecting your own desires. All right. Bye-bye.